Van life is the freedom to go wherever you want. And for us, that's travelling to unexplored and underrated destinations. Whether it's city streets, mountain ranges, or desert plains, your home is always with you. Today, we get to take our tiny home to one of the most remote and untouched regions of Tunisia. We are truly in the deep south now.
We have made it to the Tataouine region, and more specifically the town of Ksar. Mrabtine, we'll write it down here. And oh my, what a drive that was. It was 3 hours of, well, nothing and everything at the same time. It started with this huge open expanse of basically desert, and then we started to see some civilization of old historic looking towns, like really simple housing and what we expected Tunisia to look like. So yeah, that was beautiful. And then the canyons started coming, and basically it feels like we're now on a different planet. So we obviously turned right when we should have turned left, and now we're on Mars. But as you can hear by my already laboured breath, we're on the way to our first ancient sightseeing stop.
Absolutely incredible. We're on the edge of a town. There's like no noise, just some goats in the background. Absolutely stunning landscape.
Wow. It's huge.
It's huge.
Oh my god. So my understanding of this is that this is a ancient grain and olive oil store for the Berber tribes in the local area. So not just one tribe, but many tribes from around here would have come here and stored all their food and stuff for winter, I guess, and then come and collect it when they need it. And for them being a nomadic people, it's really cool to see like something that's still left of them, because obviously they didn't stay in one place, so they didn't build too much, so most of it's gone, and it feels quite well intact as well. I'd love to have seen like the hustle and bustle and people like trading stories and filling up their donkeys and stuff. Oh, to have been alive a long time ago.
Something that is absolutely like mind-blowing to us is that places like this that we would consider like an absolute historic gem that needs to be looked after and maybe even renovated or you know, just cared for through the ages, like is just left here abandoned at the top of a hill in this random little town. People can come and go. There's some kids here, they've got a little fire making some dinner, and it's just left. You can just walk all over it, explore, and it's amazing because you can really get a feel and you can actually touch it and be in it. But Also, how long will it last? Because it's just left.
So, for those of you that want to know, the Berber people, or the Amazigh, are known as the Free People, and they inhabited the North Africa area of the continent, which is known as the Maghreb. So, what is now Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, Libya, and a bit of Egypt. And they've lived here for thousands of years, just roaming the lands, looking after their animals, tending their crops, and now this is kind of all that's left. There's about 2,000 people in Tunisia that identify as Berber. I mean, can we meet one?
Maybe.
We'll try and find one. Oh my!
Oh my lord!
Look at them! They're pretty.
Hi! Oh my god, there's so many! All the way around. Look at his mouth. There's like...
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Wow.
We made our way through the sparse and rocky landscape, passing through the rural villages on our way to possibly the best park-up yet. Well, we have made it to our park-up spot for tonight, and this is a pretty epic one. The scenery here is insanely beautiful. The sun is just setting, and we found a nice flat spot for the van in the middle of it all. It is just absolutely incredible. This country so far is just blowing our minds with how untouched it feels. Raw, natural, rugged, beautiful, and it's really like special own way. Here you are.
Oh, thank you. Wow, that looks lovely.
You are welcome. So tonight we are having a very traditional Tunisian dish, couscous.
Vegetables.
Vegetables. So we've got cauliflower, peppers, carrots, chickpeas, peas, couscous, onion, all sorts of goodness in here.
It's also got the harissa from Cap Bon, which is like the peninsula that we were on at the start of it, and it's spicy.
It's spicy, but it's delicious. And we've been eating this like at least probably 3 times a week since we got here.
It's a bit hard to find all of our loves in the supermarket, but you know, wow.
This'll do. We got an amazing view for dinner tonight. Oh, this is good. It's like so simple, but so delicious.
How cool was our hotel room last night? Like, what a place to wake up. Love it.
I love that all you can hear around here is like chickens and then the donkeys and then just wind, nothing else, just the animals.
Feels really alien to be walking around somewhere and not see a drop of water. Like, we're British, so we're used to the rain, we're used to puddles, we're used to soggy grass, but here it's just dust. And like, to not hear running water ever is just bizarre. So we're in the historic Berber village of Chenini, and it's perched right on top of this like outcropping in the middle of nowhere. It's been here for such a long time, and it's really cute. It's like sand coloured stones just built out the rock, big white mosque over there. Really cool place to spend the morning.
So reading up about the history of Chenini, this part where we are sat right now on the top of the hill actually started out as like one of those grain stores that we saw yesterday, and it was like a place where people would obviously come and store their valuable goods and their grain whilst they were traveling, and it would then become a point of refuge for the different tribes to come to. So they would use the white minaret from the mosque here as a landmark in the distance, so they knew that they were traveling towards the refuge. And then over time, as the risk of like Arab invasion and attack decreased in the 11th century, they started to develop the rest of the town here, running down across the hills.
It's insane that a very long time ago this used to be like under the sea, when all the plates have moved and stuff, and like you can see really clearly this like straight line across the horizon where I guess the sea used to level out at, and now it's complete dust and dirt and gravel and civilization. See the mosque?
Oui, oui.
Yeah.
The kids have just come running over from James has been flying the drone, and the kids are very, very excited, so he's just showing them all the footage now. So those kids were so cute. They just wanted to have a chat, asking where we're from, where we work, in very little English, but we made do. And then they were asking for money, 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 money. So, you know, it's what it is. But they're obviously, they live in the town. He was pointing out his house and the school, which was really cool to see, actually, that this used to be a Berber village, and then the people that I assume live here now will be like very long descendants of the original Berber tribes. So it's nice to see that life is still going on here, where the Berber people originally started to settle down and relax away from their nomadic roots.
Settling down? No thank you. It's interesting about settling down and being somewhere where people have decided to settle down, because if anything we're going the other way. Like, we're not ready to settle down. We've only just like scraped the surface of places we want to go and things we want to do and like life we want to live. So for us, settling down is like whereas we feel really settled now, so why would we change it?
Nomads for life.
Courtney went to pay and couldn't leave without getting some Tunisian, well, we're calling it baklava, but it's basically just all the sweetness.
Sugar, nuts, good. Pastry, good.
And this costs the equivalent of 30 pence. 30 pence. It is so cheap here. Oh yeah, 2 espressos, 60p each. Whilst we're on the like cost of things as well, I know I said it's cheap, but listen to this. A full tank of diesel, like 60 litres, £29. Yeah. A food shop, like a big food shop in a Carrefour, 30 quid. Coffee's 60p. Sweets, 15p. Like it blows your mind to think, how can something be so cheap when in the UK the equivalent is 6 times the price. That's why this place is amazing.
With Meeks saying that things are so cheap, like one thing that we do not take for granted at all is the fact that our British currency has so much power around the world. Like when you convert British pounds into a number of other currencies, you get a lot for your money, and we're very fortunate to be in that situation. And the people that are the other way around, people from Tunisia changing their money into British pounds, for example, would not be able to afford to travel. So it's just something that we recognise, we're very aware of, and we appreciate, because we know we're very fortunate and very lucky.
But that does allow us to bring places like this to you guys as well.
Yeah.
Because without that exchange rate and that power, we would struggle a bit more to get here and to see everything that we're going to see. We've hightailed it out of the town because Just as we were finishing our coffee, 2 massive tour buses turned up with loads of tourists, so we are quite selfish. We like to see something by ourselves. How dare they? So we're gonna go for a walk instead.
It was at this point that we met Anis, a descendant of the Berber tribe in Chenini, who makes his living as a local tour guide to promote his culture at the Seven Dormants Mosque, one of the oldest in the whole of Tunisia, built over 700 years ago, which apart from being a historical gold mine, is now compared to the Leaning Tower of Pisa, thanks to its wonky minaret. So Anis has just given us a wonderful tour. We're very grateful for all of his history knowledge around this area and his Berber people. And now he's invited us for tea. So of course we're gonna go and have what I guess will be mint tea at the mosque. Oh, merci beaucoup. Cheers.
Cheers.
Little sticky cup that's probably been drank out of like 10 times today.
Whoa, that's sweet. Whoa. That is just sugar and some mint.
Oh my god, that is so sugary.
Thank you.
Very sweet.
Very sugar. Oh.
Good sugar.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you very much.
Bye bye.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.
I love travel for things just like that, because we just went for a random walk. We knew there was something over here, but we didn't know what it was, and ends up getting a guide from a lovely friend of ours now and a really questionable mint tea. Like, that is just the best. That's what Tunisia is all about for me.
Yeah.
Hello, Dee. You know what? We've been here for 3 weeks now, and we have felt nothing but welcomed and safe since we've been here. I think that's blown a lot of the preconceptions that we'd seen in online comments and people commenting on our videos as well, that this was an unsafe place to be or unwelcoming. And it's so far from the truth. Now, this is just our personal experience, but I mean, I don't think you can argue with it. And have you seen the beauty of the place? Like, wow. It's so good for van life, and also it's so cheap. Like, we are struggling to spend our budget each month, so I think anyone can afford to come here if they really want to. Yes, it's raw. Yes, there are bits around the edges that, oh, you know, doesn't look that pretty, but if you can look past that, then I think more people should come here in their vans.
Agreed.
Hi ho Didi! Away! Wheel spin!